jury's out on that. Is that the redhead that's always walking around town? Yeah.
There's another one. She's gone.
I thought she was purple.
Oh, blonde. Oh, okay.
I had to say, she paid, or Judy, God bless her, she paid for one of the, and then the water.
She came out and offered, special happy time and all those things, well,
I'll sit next to Gary if you don't mind.
had to run her off.
She,
He doesn't mind.
she had to live.
Oh my God, here you
They
always
started.
why you always started with that? Hey, I just did something good for you.
Bilingual,
You gotta own a,
but
you're already dipping into, you were dipping into tomorrow, this afternoon, now you're dipping into next week.
We ready?
Okay.
He's in jail.
Money? Okay,
No.
yep. After,
You just
how about
didn't time
sometime
it
next
right
week?
Okay, we got this.
Okay,
So who do I complain to, Ms. Gill, to county about this
yeah, I can
Allen
do that.
Lee situation?
If I can figure out how to,
Who would be their boss?
full reports in Southern, I'm still having struggles with Southern. Oh, well, I'm missing this lady that came to see Jessica and I several weeks ago. I sent her an email.
Now, I get one, I'm tired, I'm just tired.
Well,
The
Alan
reports out of QS1
both of
that we like and have the information we need to listen to the her and say, make this happen in Southern, just like it's showing here. I mean, you know.
Certain number of hours.
certain number of hours a month. And
They
so
can show you how to, you just make the report, save it, that's how to do it, and then I go in there and change the names, or change the general ledger account numbers, or change whatever, to tell, right.
But me is such a control.
Don't show me how,
People give me
just
that down.
do it, I need a finished
So
report,
this
that I
makes
can
it, that makes it.
put the parameters in and just say, run.
It's simply over, just meet me out there and tell me what I can do, and then I'll get
Not
the
right
money.
now, I don't have time.
Yeah, I would talk to Mason.
Mason, the same number you gave me for the kicker.
Mason Gordon, yeah.
Thank you.
Eventually.
All right, welcome everybody to this evening's budget meeting. Calling it to order, what I need to do. Yes. That's it. Is anybody here from that date?
He's out of town.
Yeah, he sent an email 2 weeks ago, he would've been here.
Gotcha.
He's on vacation.
She says beach.
Well, he technically didn't say he would be here, he said he wouldn't be at the meeting. You have to assume.
I saw him Friday.
I'm assuming that they went to the beach because, Elijah graduated.
Yeah. All right. Ready? What I have is short and sweet, or not really sweet, but we are at this moment, and first I want to thank Sandy and Jessica. They put in a lot of hard work to try to get us where we are. On the good news, on the utility side, we're about $112,000 in the good. For the budget. On the general ledger side, we're about $240,000 in the red. You weren't here, the rest of you were here last year, we were about $120,000 in the red. We had a fund we could pull and make up for it. That's what we did. With no tax increase, we have that $120,000 and another $120,000 that we're in the hole now, bringing us about $249,700. This thing is cut back. There's probably some more cutbacks. I don't know if you want to spend, well, really, you can't really spend any money. This presumes the tax increase at 0.52, which is where you started when you dropped it to 40.4. That is a expected collection of $410,000, which is about 100,000, a little over 100,000 more than we collected last year, or last year. right now, we're at 322 collections. We're only at 90% right now. We've stepped up our efforts to collect. We've got a couple of previous years outstanding. We've got some outstanding from last year. I expect to have outstandings coming year, so it just kind of washes through, but, that's where we're at. On the bright side, we were able to bump up sales tax collection, or sales tax, not our collection, but the state refunding sales tax for all the retail environment here. That's going up about 1.5%, 2%, as well as franchise tax going up about 1%, the gas tax going up, and power bills going up. So all these things are going up a little bit, which is helping. But that's it. We're pretty much where we are, and that's why there's no hearing tonight to adopt the budget, because we're just that far behind, even with a 0.52 tax. And you go 0.54, it's not gonna shake up much more. So now, question time. I think you guys had this little sheet. Our valuations, no, it's one I made up for the last meeting. We'll get copies of it and pass it around real quick. We have a valuation, is, according to the county, 78,874,968. So we're about 79,000, or million in valuation, townwide. It's not that far off from last year. You take that number and you start multiplying it by these different scenarios. At 0.52, we're 410, we would collect 410,000. At 0.54, it's like 425. So it's not a big leap, especially when you're talking 240,000 in the red at the moment. I have spent a lot of time on the phone with our friends at the league. They're looking into some items, and I should have some answers this week about any other revenue sources or grants that can help us kind of get over this hump. And so my proposal, other than seeing what you guys uncut, would be to hold a budget hearing, another budget meeting with a budget hearing attached to it in about 2 weeks, 17, 18, somewhere in there. You have to adopt this month, so we don't have a choice. But we're scrambling, we're digging. Sandy's been real good about finding some stuff, so but she and Jessica are the gun with the audit. We have an audit Thursday, that's the final audit. We will complete the state requirements for audits. I think I told you guys we're having a little bit of trouble with the auditor. I had a long conversation with her and she stepped up, so, we're kind of good to go in that respect. So she'll be here Thursday. She's given them a long list of stuff to do, which they've accomplished. And then she gave another long list, and they gave another long list this morning. But they're working hard to get to all that stuff. So that will get us up to speed, which is good, because right now they're withholding the 1.55 for the water side of the grant. That was 3.6. And you'll find out about suicide tonight at the meeting. So, questions?
Yeah, Bill, just a quick one. Whoever done this is great work.
I didn't know how you guys wanted to see it.
Yeah, and do you have a copy of this, Bill?
I don't in front of me.
Here's your copy, you handed it back.
Oh, sorry.
I guess what my question is why did the money market drop from 120,000 in April to 70,000 in May?
I can answer that. We had, we had a regular UCB checking account, the general fund, was very low on cash, and before we went under, I asked permission to pull money out of the money market so that the outstanding checks that had not cleared and the payroll could process. Right now, revenues are,
Pretty flat.
they're like this, incoming revenues. And we're waiting on franchise tax and, sales tax, and it just hasn't gotten here yet. From what I understand from reading the letter, the treasurer was supposed to, until we get the audits done, they will hold FY 24-25 taxes that would come to us, but not, they didn't say about 23-24, but we're not getting any revenue in. We're not getting taxes from customers because those have already happened. You know, our plush months are normally with tax bills that go out in July. Our plush months are November to January, when the mortgage companies are processing those tax payments. And so those are our plush months. And then as the year, it's typical in about every organization, even back when I was in the Air Force. This time of year, revenue is like down. And so we're like, I'm every day logging in to the general fund account, and I have a spreadsheet that I built for myself, and in that spreadsheet, I have outstanding checks that we've written, and I factor that in, any pending payments, any pending deposits, and I come up with a number, and I look at any payroll that's coming up, because we have a payroll coming up tomorrow.
Sure.
So we need money in the bank account to meet payroll.
How much is in that account now?
As of today, this was, sorry. There's, I thought I had it here in front of me. Can you hold on a moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. All means.
Payroll ain't $50,000 a month.
I think there was like a check to the FDA, USDA, I think that was 50.
We got hit with the USDA loan.
USDA loan.
That's like an annual payment coming out.
Yeah, comes out this month.
Some payment that was not anticipated.
The current balance is $10,946. And we have, checks that we wrote on Saturday, which is $24,000, so we're probably gonna need to move more money. And, so I went on yesterday and took out another $51,000, and the only reason I took that amount out was because the USDA, sanitary safety USDA loan hit for $51,000, and we would have not had money to pay that loan, and it was an auto draft.
So you moved 51 over to that.
So in the last month, I've moved $101,000 out of that account.
And we owe 50,000 and just out bounces checks, cause
Payroll, and I can show you my spreadsheets. I'll be glad to show you how I came up with these numbers. Because I don't want the account to go in the hole. Because then we have checks bouncing.
I'm with you.
So, and it doesn't look good on a town to have checks bouncing.
I agree.
Sorry.
All right. Chris, did you have something?
I was just gonna move on.
Move on.
Yeah.
What's the air care bill?
So we have the opportunity, and this is a decision point for you guys. The air care is your air ambulance if you need to be medevaced out somewhere to an adjacent hospital, to a larger hospital, a tier 1 hospital. It's for us, all of us, our whole employee pool plus you, it's $75 annually, covers everybody in your household. The choice is, you can absorb that and just add it as part of your benefits package, or you can pass it through and just let the employees pay it out of one of their payrolls.
How much would it take out of your
$75. That's a year, that's annual. It covers everybody in your household.
Yeah.
It's one
And that's
time a
if they
year.
choose it.
That's if they choose. it.
Yeah, I think that would be better. Cause I know we pay for our own. So can you trim that out of there?
I can, yeah,
Okay.
if that's good.
He's asking for consensus to trim that out. Does everybody want to trim that out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trevor.
They want it, they can pay for it.
You added in the raise from Lisa and the raise from the beginning, start paying, okay.
Yeah, at the moment, because I have no direction yet, it's the, what I gathered from the meeting when we discussed it, 1725 for the clerk and then 1831 for the manager.
I think that's what was discussed.
So there's just been some back and forth, and I don't know, nobody settled on anything, so I have no direction. So that's in the budget, but it's not approved.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. That my email thing.
Well, you did, and then I got I got a different response from him, and then you concurred with him, and then I think I got a different response from you, and then you concurred with her, and so I don't know, I don't have three people saying.
You do now, you got Keenan, Christie, and Gail.
Okay.
Alright, so pest control, is that like exterminator?
Yeah,
Is that like something we could spray for ourselves, maybe?
we could if we were licensed, we don't
Okay.
definitely get licensed.
Okay.
So it actually ends up being cheaper to
Yeah,
pay somebody.
figured that. What's in focus?
Infocus is our planning consultant, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that at our regular meeting, when I do my planning board update. So there's some kind of exciting stuff coming around, and they're also helping us with some ordinances. So, but there are that'll be the final payment for them.
How much is it though?
Oh, it's 23, I think it's 23,000, that's the final payment. So we paid an initial 23, and then we paid 3 payments of a smaller amount, and we're paying the final 23.
Yeah. So is that something that could be took out?
No.
Payment.
Your contract,
A year.
you can take it out, and still gonna pay it.
Alright,
Yeah. Yeah, this is the contract you guys signed a year ago, almost a year ago.
The 12,000 for part-time, you know, what is that for?
Left that in there in case we still needed our other accountant to help us with the reconciliation, but I'm not sure we need that anymore. So it was just in there in case we needed somebody to help out.
I will openly say I feel pretty confident with Sandy on board and Jessica that we won't do that.
I agree.
where's that at, like, market?
Under
That's
general
under
government.
general government, it's
Three
like
lines
the
down.
third line, yeah, third line, it says salary part-time help.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm gonna make sure.
So we're taking that off.
Bill, does that salaries line item include me?
No.
Where you have 3 FTEs?
No, you're up to the regular,
I'm not in the part-time?
no,
Okay, I just wanted to be sure before they start axing my job.
no, we had.
I just wanted to be sure.
Regular thing.
Yeah, okay.
Regular.
I just want to be sure.
We had a guy, because we had Jessica,
Yes,
the
yes.
board hired
Right.
Serenity,
Right.
and then we have a
Oh,
guy
yeah, but
that
that's
is
only like,
reconciling.
that's only, the reconciling's only like $2,000. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. All right,
I,
thanks.
I didn't think you were gonna tell her tonight that she's fired next week. I would keep that one.
I wasn't gonna-
Minor equipment,
Yes,
25,000, that went up. Like you only spent 2,000 this year, why didn't it jump to 25, was that just a figure?
that's just in case we run into something strange. So, I mean, it's one of those numbers, you can reduce it, you know, cause I looked at it and I thought, I can reduce this, but that's our catch-all for replacing, you know, working on the heater, the air conditioning system, you know, that sort of thing.
Could we like cut that back down to 10 since we didn't use the 2,000?
Yeah,
Well, that 2,000
Well, I-
only reflects through the end of March too,
Yeah.
so we don't have that actuals updated yet. We've been focused on audit, so I apologize for that.
No,
Not your problem.
you're fine. But if we could cut that down, I think that would help. Back to 10,000.
It would help until something goes wrong. You know, have to-
Yeah, but we had 10,000 last year, and nothing, I mean, this stuff's fairly new, we replaced it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No,
maintenance
It
is,
says
if
it's hot.
you don't do your maintenance and then on top of it,
I
then
was gonna bump it down again.
I think at some point that the town
Huh?
could really save some money and address, which I understand is such a issue, but there's a lot of equipment that just sits around and we're not using at all. We could actually get rid of.
You know, there's a humongous generator at the wastewater treatment plant. It just sits there on the ground. So, military style generator. Now, we do have other generators around the town, but they're backups in case we run out of power somewhere.
So this isn't affecting the preventive maintenance budget, right? There's a different line item for that? Do we have that? Do we do that?
Yeah.
Oil changes on trucks and,
Well, we have repairs and maintenance, there's 20,000 in that. Minor equipment actually is 25,000. So repairs and maintenance are 20,000, and that's kind of taken care of, like this building in this case. If you go to Public Works, there's vehicle maintenance and repairs, and in that line item, there's 4,000, and then fuel, there's 5,000. And then there's another repairs and maintenance, 15,000. And that's for the streets, Secasa, anything that might come out that we need to fix. Street light somehow runs out, we can, replace it, that sort of thing. That covers the dog park and.
So you feel okay with that going back to 10,000?
I'll just keep my fingers crossed, yes. Yeah, we're not known as a town for doing maintenance, so we're starting to see the effects of that. We had 3 weeks in a row, we had 2 weeks somewhere in town. And so we got hit pretty hard with Iron Mountain coming in and get our repairs done. And we may not say, like, we haven't seen anything today, or, so far this week. Fingers crossed is wrong, but, there are just issues that are gonna crop up because the system's aging. Plus side, we get the audit done Thursday, we get the 1.5 million, which is the balance of the grant, sewer and water, and then we'll start working on that. So,
Gary,
Well, we still need to fix that leak from, it's not a leak, but that pipe at not Mountain Heritage, the jewelry shop from way back in December. They've got the leak fixed, but that's a cast pipe that runs from the main up beside their building in the back. So I'm hoping we can get the money out of the water money, because we need to bring those meters back up to the street. They don't need to be behind the building back there. So hopefully we can get that leak fixed with that money. And
I'd like to get that fixed sooner than later, so he can fix that sign. It looks so bad.
you gotta have money. So hopefully when we get the water money, we can get that done. But the other thing, we need to get the pump put in at Tweetsy. So I'm gonna talk to Mike tonight and see if we can't get what little bit left sewer money to get that pump installed. That needs to be done before that other pump fails.
Am I allowed to ask about my oil, my creek?
No, not in this meeting. We're working on that too.
Are we talking in 818, or are we talking 818 now, or are we still in 420? I don't know where we're at, because I went out of the room.
We're talking that.
So,
I interrupted. me.
we're talking, we started with Public Works, now we're going with Public Utilities.
Okay, so now we're going to
Yeah.
545?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gary, did you talk to Amy about the other pump out there?
Not happened yet. I had talked to him back before. I think part of that happened the other night, the line we put in at Elk Chase Lane, apparently it had washed out. So I think what had happened when we had that big rain, it let water in there. And when Sam was here that last time, he went out and redid all that better and cemented it in, and he did all that for free. He didn't charge us for that. So I think that night we were out at the pumping station was because that line was off and it had flooded into the tank. That's why the pumps couldn't keep up. Because we had that heavy rain, I guess Sunday night, we didn't have a problem. So I think that was just a result of two things happening. So I think we're good back over there, but Ingles does have a lot of grease coming out. I've talked to them before about it, but they say they have it pumped more often, but I believe they've got a grease pit problem.
Maybe right away.
Fine.
So I don't know.
And again, we'll talk at the regular meeting tonight, because part of addressing that is rewriting the ordinance for water sewer. And so, I've got a proposal for you to look at, and if you want to adopt it, we can move forward. There's a bunch of stuff coming down the pipe that is really gonna necessitate, with the new plan and the new zoning, it's gonna necessitate rewriting the ordinance. It's for our best interest. Next.
What about, let's just, in fact, can we keep that at 15 for now? I mean,
Where do we at?
for the 25, the repairs and maintenance, 10,
On the general,
yeah,
so instead of 10, you want 15?
just, I do, personally, this would be, I leave this like this. But that's up to consensus.
I'm fine.
Well,
15
it's 20 right now, the proposal from Jamie was 10, and
I say 15.
you were 15, so now you're 15.
15 sounds like a good number.
Did you mean it was at 25, Bill?
No, minor equipment's 25, maintenance is, 20. Well, it's
I thought we were cutting minor equipment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was,
Yeah,
So you want to go minor equipment, 15,
yeah.
rather.
and maintenance 10.
Maintenance needs to be higher than that
Okay.
equipment. We can manage without equipment.
Depends on what the minor equipment is.
Yeah, repairs and maintenance, you almost met that budget. You need to leave right there at 20.
Okay, so leave that there, so
Yeah, you already. hit
minor
7.
equipment, you want to drop to 15.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Fire services, that's what we give the
That's
fire
in the first
department.
one.
Yeah, that's the contract for the fire department.
Well, yes, we've not done it this year though.
We didn't do it
Because
last year.
you asked for a new contract, and between everything that's going on, we've not, I drafted contracts in it to Gerald, but it hasn't come back to you. So we have not paid them. Now, on the flip side, they are in the process of testing every fire hydrant in town. They have a new coding system, so they're putting code rings on them, which denote the gallons per minute that are coming out of the fire hydrants. That's a step that they now have to take, according to the law. And it may or may not, it may help or it may hurt. Because what they've been given, what they've given the states and the insurance companies is one number. And that number may or may not be true when we test it. And so they're now putting these visual cues on there, so we see a brightly colored ring that represents gallons per minute. And then Arvid Agus reported back to the state fire marshal, and state fire marshal reports to the insurance companies, and that affects property insurance rates, one way or the other. So we're hoping we're at level 5, we're hoping to stay there. That's our goal. But they're in the process of testing and relubing them, making sure all the water systems looked out, so. And we won't even have that report. Gary gave them a map, but they were literally zigzagging all over town because they had it. They had like a number, go here, go here, go here. Now they got a map, so they're actually doing it in a logical fashion. And I won't have an answer for that till next week.
I'd like to still help the fire department.
Yeah, they have not actually come back and asked for it, then, like I say, you wanted a contract, I found the old contract, made the modifications you requested, which you modifications you requested, the gunners and the fire hydrants, and then send it over to Greg, so I'm just waiting on Greg to draft it up, get back to us. But we have not paid this year, so I doubt we'll pay this year at this point. So I just looked at it.
Security services, what's that exactly?
That's our alarm, so that's annual testing of our alarm system. We actually have an alarm system, which includes our fire, smoke detectors and all that. We don't use it. We're actually supposed to use it. We get a discount on our insurance if we get monitored, the fire part is monitored. But the alarm system itself is not monitored. I'm guessing since PD is in the building, they didn't do it, they need to keep it at some point in the past. But we're looking at getting it back up to speed, probably about $7,000. There's a lot of wiring and sensor to panel.
I
And we've got
noticed
two
your,
panels.
I noticed your budget's 33,000.
Yeah, that's part of it, and of course, you wanna cut all that out, and survive this long, so we can survive another year, but that's it. We've got a couple of small maintenance things to do on town hall as well.
You drop the list.
Well, I'd like to know Sandy's thoughts about changes we could make. You know, just suggestions that she may have seen that we've not noticed that might, you know. Now, I don't think we can talk about cutting people's, I mean, we can't cut positions.
We can cut some money out of security services, that's for sure. We're not using it, we have the police department here.
How much you think we could cut out of that big?
Well, we're still gonna need,
Pest control, lab waste, and in focus.
I mean, we don't necessarily have to have this control, I didn't really notice the issue, it comes monthly.
I don't think nobody wants to work for them rats.
Yeah, that's not, that may be a problem in the garage, but not here in this building, we've been fortunate. We kind of keep it cleaned up, and Gary's done a good job of keeping the floors and cleaned up, so there's been trash out here, so we haven't really had a problem with that. Can't address that in the garage, we did have a problem, but we got all the hay bales out, that we were using for decorations, they're all buckets, pots, and sequestered away, so.
Do we change it to a quarterly instead of a monthly?
Yeah.
Save a little bit of money? I don't think we should get rid of
it.
it.
Would save the same money.
Now, I feel like the town hall does a pretty good job taking trash out.
Yeah, we do a really good job,
So I don't feel like it's a cockroach for ants.
yeah.
Something about see if we can do a quarterly.
It brings up the other question, which is part of the town hall budget, is, getting this floor stripped. If you've looked at it lately, it hasn't been stripped in a while, it's just been taking wax on top of that, when we had our previous cleaning service, and they stopped doing the floors except for, wet mop and sweeping. We've got an opportunity to get somebody to come in and do a strip, a complete strip, and then a re-wax, which will be good, because the one bathroom, it's got new flooring, it's never been waxed, so we need to get that done. And he's gonna charge us $1,200 the first time, it's gonna take him all night to get rid of it. And he's a local guy. I don't know if they're interested in doing that, but that's in part of that budget for town hall. And then coming back once a quarter and, you know, waxing it, stripping it down and waxing it. Once a year, he'll come back in 6 months, strip it, wax it, so we keep it maintained. But he'll come in and wax it once a month.
You wouldn't have anybody running a high burnish and buff on it all, right?
We don't have one, I think we can get them from Avery House.
I've got all.
So, I've waxed floors and buffed them, but I didn't have it, but I've not stripped them, so. But we have regular machines on this side of the rings.
Good.
that's the case, maybe if they were professional, come in and strip it, wax it, and fine, and we just maintain it from that point on. Yeah, and we got to time it, you know, winter's what's really harsh on it. So we kind of time it like this time of year to get it done.
Are we at all interested in getting a second price?
We can try, Gary had a hard time finding anybody, he just had to run into this guy, that does Phoenix. Just had to run into him.
The only reason I ask is I was stripping and mom once a year, a full foot line for $600. I can promise you this is a lot smaller than a full foot line.
Yes.
I've already spent all my money this year on potholes, and I have to spend some more. Anyhow, I'll get you some names of people that will come in and do it, just for a competitive price.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, like I said, I should have hired on the food line. That did take all night.
Yeah, those are big stores.
All right, I'll get you, and also if you want, I just need some help, I do have a propane furnishing, the same thing your guy English is using.
Yeah.
We can bring it up here in 20 minutes, buff this entire place, make it look real good. Go ahead.
Anything else?
I mean, you have anything else?
I mean, one of the things that I would like to see, and I know this is gonna be a big hoopla, I would like to see the Avery County subsidy for the tag office to go up. It's been the same for forever, and I think it could go up on that, but, you know, they've got their budget already done for the year, so I think it's a no, it's probably a no for this year, but I would think that maybe we could negotiate that for next year. Because I did a small cost, a quick cost analysis, and I know nobody wants to hear it, but it's not self-sufficient. From the cost analysis I did, I just did a quick one with salaries, benefits, including insurance, taxes, their internet and all that stuff, and there is a deficit there, no matter what we think and what we've always thought. As far as the revenue that comes in, just having the tag office there, so I'd like the county subsidy to go up for 25, 26, if we could get them to do that.
I think they would do more than willing to do that.
We just have to start asking sooner, because it's too late for this year, of course.
What is it now?
The subsidy for the county is 25.5. It's always been 25.5. Well, no, 1 year was 20,000. It went from 25.5 to 20 to 25.5 to 25.5. So I think it could go up because there is a deficit there.
It's under the revenue section, first page.
I mean,
About halfway down.
the tag revenue won't go up because tag revenue is based on the number of tags we issue out of that office. But the subsidy, that's something we could ask. You know, $5,000-$10,000 is $5,000 or $10,000. And to a county that has a lot of money, you know, I'd like to see that.
I think we go to that.
Anyone know why we don't get the driver's license?
I was always told that.
Well, I assume we did, because we have to look at the budget. So,
I always thought we did too.
Yeah, I was told, I want to keep it here, they pay the fine.
I'll go back and talk to my contact on that. Because we reviewed the contract and it had rent in there, but we don't collect rent, so I was curious.
I mean, not, yeah, not for the license,
Yeah.
guys, but $275 a month for tag office, but that doesn't, that's not a lot whenever.
That's not competitive rates.
I mean, their internet is $109.98 a month, so that if the tag office rent, if they could give us more money too, I mean, you know, that's our expense, their internet is our expense, because they have a separate internet. Maybe we could tack that onto their rent.
Bill, you think we need 25,000 for the events?
Well, that was the number we had in there. We
Yeah, I've
actually-
seen that.
We actually brought back in close to that amount, we haven't finished that a year ago. And I debated that one, and the reason I did that is there seems to be a consensus, we want to continue to do some of these events, so we need to have some money in there. Between the fireworks and the parachutes and all, and anything else that we do, and I don't know if we're gonna do any other events beyond this, but, you know, we're kind of pushing that limit, and we are not really collecting, except the farmer's market, we're not collecting any rents. And that was gonna be something I talked to you about this evening, you want to collect rent, I can talk about now, if you want to collect rents for these events, and just create a form, and say, you know, even if you charge $10 a space or $15 a space, and.
I thought we were doing that.
We do collect for the festivals, like Fourth of July, Gail, isn't it $20 a vendor? Yeah, $20 a vendor for Fourth of July, Spring Fling, October, whatever we call that, Fall Festival. Anything that we had down at the Riverwalk, we collected $20 a booth, but like food truck night, we don't.
Yeah.
And that's 16 nights a year, so we really could start charging
Well,
$20.
we should, because you got Gary going out there putting out signs.
Exactly, and,
You know.
yeah.
And I don't think that the food vendors would mind paying.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
think they're glad to be there.
Yeah, so my question is, do we formalize that rental of town property? Because there's been increasing call for using this room and we're not using it, there's been increasing call to use the events park. Got a group now that wants to go out there for an hour and a half for the whole third week of July. And just set up out there and, yeah, but it's, you know, it's not our property, but it's space for you. And by tradition, we just charge for that space because we're the ones who maintain it.
And also the ones that clean up on the new house.
Yeah, we clean up, we dump the trash. 4th of July, the fall festival, if we have a spring fling, we have a dumpster out there. That's what
We could call it a maintenance fee, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, a maintenance fee.
Yeah.
These big trucks pay taxes, pay town taxes.
Well, they pay county taxes, we're not collecting anything off of them. It's a county license, is that. Now, we got one in town that I know for sure, but it's not the way they tax what the business license is. And most of them are outside the town limits.
Do you think we could get by if we cut that back to 20?
Oh, yeah.
Say $5,000?
He raises the money for that. I come, the town pays me. I go out and get, me and Jamie went out and got wool. We got
No, we don't. We have no process, that's why.
Well, I'm gonna still say, but,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, 'cause I think all the food they sell is taxed. All that goes to the county. Even though it's point of sale, there's no, it's where their business address is, where their kitchen is.
Okay.
They have to have a commissary kitchen, so it's where that kitchen is, where the taxes go back to that county or that city.
I definitely think we should be charging, you might set up a $25 setup fee, whether it's food trucks or vendors or a coffee shop.
Do you know what the numbers are?
The regular one.
Yeah.
I think for 10 by 10, it was 20, and then there was a couple up here, 12 by 12 or something. Maybe that was 20.
Weren't clear. No, no,
No, you didn't mark any of those off, okay.
But she may have allowed for that over in
Yeah.
the area where the gravel and the grass is. We only did 10 by 10s along the river walk.
I think one thing we're talking about is getting signs rather than painting. I'm wondering if we getting signs and sticking them up.
And she always told me like, if I would go around and collect, it was just one booth or one area, it was 20, two was 30. And so I don't know if she just, knowing the people, she just allowed them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
of course,
bigger
we
area.
kind of lost all that, and we did
Yeah.
that spring fling, it's like, what are we gonna do? So,
So you're okay cutting that back to 20?
yeah, I think so, yeah. But I think that's about the revenue we got.
Yeah. Well, you're not really wanting to make money off of the public, but you should wash, you do it good.
Well, that was my goal, was to try to just get us to the point where whatever we spent, we got back.
Wash.
Yeah.
So are we going to decide on an event amount then? Is it 25 or?
Yeah, right now it's 20 for a 10 by 10 space, and then.
Oh, no, I thought, no, that's not what I was asking the question, I thought it was 25 for the event space. I thought you were asking how much line.
Oh, the line item, I'm sorry, yes, the line item we're going to
25.
20, but the booth rent, or the spot rental is still 20 also?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna leave it at 20 or go to 25?
I'd say go up.
I think it needs to go up.
I think 25, I don't even know if it's 30, but.
I did hear that when one of the vendors has these events in Tennessee, they charge $50 when they put it together, the event, and he's one of our vendors. But when he has an event over in Elizabeth, he charges $50 a vendor.
We're not right now.
We don't right now, no.
Same on
We charge them on the festival days, though.
On the
We charge
festival
them
days.
on the festival
Gail, did
days.
you collect from them on festival days, the food vendors? I didn't think so, the food trucks. Yeah.
I was asking my turn.
I think everybody should pay. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's just me.
Can I just say this though, I think at some of our events, there have been people that truly could not afford that. Like when we would go around, so if we could use just whoever's gonna collect the money, if there's somebody that needs to sell some stuff that day, and then we go back, you know what I mean?
Or we
Yeah.
get them to pay by 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And I also, like the churches and the nonprofit, they were free.
Yeah.
Okay, so churches and nonprofits were
Yeah.
free.
And like the Making Lanes, that one was free.
Yeah, that's nonprofit.
Ministry.
So maybe what we could do, this is just an idea, is to sort of do what Elizabeth Rector is doing with the farmer's market, is they fill out the form, okay, this is for next year, because that's what we're talking about. Before the event ever happens, they fill out the form, they sign up, they pay their fee. Then on that day, you don't have to have Miss Gail going around knocking on booths and asking for their contribution or whatever. So I think that's the way you do it.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, it's up front, and they have, they know a festival is happening July 4th, 2025, we advertise it, whoever's in charge says, okay, here's your event fee, we'd like it paid by this date.
No check this
check,
address.
Yeah,
I think we go up to 25 on the booth, and then 30 if they have to have electric. Does that sound reasonable for everybody?
Across the board.
Across the board.
And start charging food trucks, so food truck night.
Well, looking at the police department, I think we could cut the chitty.
good thing, he's already asked for favors for next week, keep going. You're gone. I just balanced the budget. No, we just balanced the budget. Just kidding.
Mike, is this budget as late as you can get it?
Yeah, I mean, it's bare minimum for
Okay.
Look, the new body cameras, we've got to have new cameras.
Gotta have it, I understand.
And the guys that's got vests or fixed to
Gotta have it.
stuff like that.
You still came in under budget from last year, though, right?
Yeah. Tag office.
Oh, we were,
I think we've looked at that already. Gary, can I ask you a question, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I figured you done this. I figured you done the oh, he didn't do the budget.
No.
He's been running around ready, so.
I see utilities, so far we've spent 418, but you're asking for 36,000.
I can explain that. Because, last year, they were coded to 420. If you look at utilities under 420, you'll see it says the budget was, 8,000, but it's 35,800 was spent. It was coded to the budget 420, which is general, and most of that is, a lot of that is street lights, and it should have been, we should have coded it to 545. We'll get that fixed.
So you just put it in the right place?
Yeah, we'll just put it in the right place.
Thank you.
Just,
Never mind, that doesn't answer.
we haven't been able to do that yet.
That was me.
We've been audit
Looking at
focused.
the electric bill, not realizing what I saw.
Bill, your public works, you got it up, this latest expenses.
Yes,
Last year was 20,000, we spent 4,700, this year 15,000.
yes.
Come down on that?
We did it, yeah. That's just our catch-all, that everybody has one.
Drop it to 10, because that'll still be 5 less. And then asking the board, y'all drop it to 10,000.
Where's that at?
That's at the bottom of that
All
whole
the
road.
public works.
56075.
Yeah, the previous year was.
We dropped it to 10. Utilities revenue.
So that right there, the, water sewer fees, that's reflecting a minor increase in the rate. We don't have a rate study to present to you tonight, but we will have one, and the rates will go up. The LGC's already told us our rates will go up. As will our tap fees, but I didn't raise that.
So, I was sitting here looking at capital projects.
Yes,
So we budgeted 132.8 something for them street lights last year,
yes,
and they ended up costing 323,110.
yes. We had 103, and then we budgeted an additional 132.
Bill,
And that's my question for you on the capital stuff too, when we get there.
your utilities revenue bill, with 30,000 last year, you only spent 400, and you got 20,000 this year.
Where you going?
Page 4.
Page 4, in the middle.
Miscellaneous expense.
Don't pull that down.
It's the one up for bad debit expense.
Don't pull that down to 20, instead of 10.
No, the one above, okay. That's it. Miscellaneous expense,
We only spent $380 in that line,
so far.
so the month we're gonna spend,
No, we won't spend that much, but this is, well, whatever you want to do. It was just, again, it's a catch-all in case you run into something, it's a place of hiding money, in case you run into something, or spend a line item, you know, like repairs. Gary's had to replace the sprocket and chain on some of our equipment at the wastewater treatment plant. He hasn't looked at the other one to see if it needs to be replaced. So, you know, these little things will start adding up. And they'll go into the minor equipment line, and we'll chip away. And if I get toward the end of the year, I'll have any money out of this line. We're lucky this year, we didn't have to spend much of that, so. But if you wanna knock it down, which I understand why you would, that would be the
I think
place to knock it
for
down.
this year, just come to our senses on our taxes, let's knock it down, one sixteen.
Okay.
But okay, this time we'll do it.
Yeah.
How close are we, because it's almost six, I think. We need to schedule another budget meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna, that's, last thing I want you to do is schedule a final meeting to talk about this and make all these changes and send it out to you. And then I need to also just set a date for the hearing, hopefully the same day, it'll just be one in the next. And you can make it as late in June as you feel necessary. But just keep in mind, the later you make it, the less chance you have of getting a meeting. Has to be adopted by the employees.
How does it sound, how does, I'm gonna say 18, 5 o'clock. Tuesday, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right, meeting.
Somebody do it.
Somebody remember to call me? It said 2 o'clock, next, we need 5:30.
So to 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, 18,
6 o'clock here.
we got 6 o'clock.
No, you want to do it here. You have to have a hearing to adopt the budget.
Sure.
And I have to advertise.
5 o'clock, 5 o'clock budget meeting, 6 o'clock hearing.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Once I'll go through it, email and ask questions in case we need to some more, so I hope we want to raise them taxes, I don't want to raise taxes.
Okay, now close this meeting, you can look at it. Adjourn, quick break.
I will not touch it.